I've been working the graveyard shift as a gas station cashier for months, but tonight something's off. There's this white van parked across the lot, and it's been there for hours. No one's inside. I didn't think much of it, but after a while I got curious. Went outside to check it out. The van's door was wide open, like someone had just gotten out. I walked closer, and that's when I saw a crumpled receipt from inside my register lying on the ground next to the van, like someone had been watching me the entire time. So I was working the night shift at the gas station, just the usual quiet hours. Around 3 a.m., a guy walks in and heads straight to the cooler, standing there silently, just staring at me. I thought maybe he was waiting for someone, so I didn't think much of it. But he didn't move, didn't say a word, just stood there for what felt like forever. Then I checked the security footage later that morning, and that's when it got weird. Turns out he never even entered the store. The camera shows him standing outside the front door, his hand pressed against the glass like he was waiting for me to open it. I still don't know how he got there or what he wanted. I work the overnight shift at a gas station, so it's pretty quiet most nights. One time a guy comes in and pays with a handful of really old faded bills. But here's the weird part, those bills all had today's date written on them, like he'd just printed them or something. I didn't think much of it at first. Then I checked the security camera footage later, and I see him walking through the aisles like he's shopping or browsing, except I never saw him leave the register or go anywhere else. It's like he was just there, but not really. That's the part that still creeps me out. I've been working the night shift at a small town gas station for months, and tonight I noticed a car parked at the pump with no one inside, the engine running. Didn't think much of it until I walked up to check and saw a note on the windshield that said, "I'll be right back." Looked around, no one. Station's been empty for hours. I figured maybe they were inside, but I checked nothing. I stood there for a bit wondering if I should call someone, but before I could decide, the car just left. No sound, no lights, like it vanished. I was working the night shift at this tiny motel off the highway, just doing my usual check-ins. Then this guy pulls up, says his name's Carl, but something felt off. He hands me cash and a folded note that just says, "Don't look out your window." I thought maybe a weird joke or something. The night's quiet, and around 3 a.m. there's knocking at my door. I open it, and it's Carl standing there staring at me, no smile, no words. Outside, the parking lot's empty except for his car headlights shining through the rain. I blink, and he's just gone. I work the night shift at a small gas station. Nothing special. Every few nights, I hear slow footsteps walking around the store. Not fast, not hurried, just slow and steady, like someone pacing. I check the cameras, nothing. Last night, I went to the back room, and when I came back, there was a crumpled receipt on the counter with my name on it. The time on it was exactly when I was in the back, and it said the total was $0. No one was in the store, no one on the cameras. Just my name, a timestamp, and $0. I haven't touched that receipt since. So I was restocking shelves late at night in the quiet grocery store, just doing my thing. I notice a handwritten note with today's date sitting on the counter, but I didn't see anyone leave it. I turn around for a second, and when I check the security camera, there's someone standing right behind me. I didn't hear a thing. Just that weird feeling that someone was there the whole time watching.
I was about to fall asleep, just casually checking my phone like always. Then, I noticed my front camera had been recording. I didn't even open the camera app. I clicked on it. It was just a shot of me lying there, staring at the screen, unmoving. Except, behind me, something stood up. But in real life, I was alone. It's not my phone watching me anymore. It's what's behind it. Check your front camera. Ethan kept having the same dream every night. The same woman, dressed in white, standing in the dark. She'd whisper, "Don't open the door." That's it. Same dream every night. But one night, he opened the door. There was no one outside. But when he turned around, "You're awake, but I'm already inside." Ethan never woke up. Everyone who hears this story sees her.
If you're hearing this now, keep your door shut tonight.
Liam had been driving 4 hours. Storm pouring outside. His GPS rerouted him to an old, hidden motel. The sign buzzed, "Welcome to River's End. Room 217 available." The lobby was empty, dusty, but a key was waiting for him on the counter. No one in sight. He picked up the key. It was cold like ice. The hallway stretched forever. Dim yellow lights flickering. Room 217's door creaked open by itself. Inside, everything looked untouched for decades. A single chair faced an old mirror. Liam sat down, too tired to question it. The moment he blinked, a second chair appeared in the mirror. Then, someone sat in it. A figure, completely black. No face, just breathing. Liam turned around. Nothing behind him, but the reflection was still there. The lights blinked once, then went out. The room turned freezing cold. His phone started vibrating violently in his hand. No caller, no sound, just one text.
If you're reading this, you were never supposed to check it.
Aelina bought an antique mirror at a yard sale. It was old, cracked, and oddly warm. She hung it in her bedroom, not knowing why. That night, she noticed something strange. Her reflection didn't copy her movements. When she turned, it kept staring back. Frozen, she waved. It smiled. She ran. The reflection didn't. Next morning, the mirror was gone. In its place, a note written backwards. "Thanks for letting me in." That night, Eleanor's phone camera turned on by itself. The screen showed her sleeping, but she was holding the phone. In the footage, her reflection walked past. It stopped, turned, and whispered, "Don't look behind you."
I was working the night shift at the gas station, just me and the quiet. Around 2 a.m., I noticed the security cameras flicker. Nothing too unusual, happens sometimes. But then on the screen I saw a figure standing just outside the light, barely in view. I thought it was a trick of the monitor, so I checked the live feed again. The figure was gone. No big deal, right? But then I started hearing footsteps outside, soft, slow, like someone was walking around the building. Every few minutes. I figured it was nothing, but when I went to check the back door, the lock was already undone. I worked the night shift at a gas station. One night, around 2 a.m., I noticed a guy standing by the pumps, just staring at me through the glass. Didn't think much of it at first, figured he was waiting for his car to fill up or something. But he didn't move, not for a long time. Hours passed. I didn't feel safe. Later, when I checked the security footage, I saw him standing there the whole time, not even shifting his feet. And the weirdest part, he never came inside, not once. I worked the night shift at this lonely gas station out on the highway. It's dead quiet most of the time, but about every couple of hours, this guy pulls up. Doesn't buy anything, doesn't even get out of the car, he just sits there, staring through the glass. It's unsettling, but it's not like he's doing anything wrong, so I just let it. Last night, though, I'm getting ready to lock up, but when I went back to the counter, the door was wide open. No sign of the guy, just the door. I thought maybe I'd forgotten, so I locked it again. A few minutes later, I look up and there he is sitting in his car staring. But this time it felt different, like he was waiting for something. So I'm working the overnight shift at this gas station. Right. Pretty quiet, just me and the flashing lights outside. I keep glancing at the security monitors, and every now and then the feed flickers to static. Weird, because no one's supposed to be outside at that hour. I chalk it up to a glitch and keep working. Then, suddenly, I look up from the register and there's this guy, plain as day, standing right behind the glass, just staring at me. But when I glance back at the monitors, no one's there. No figure, just an empty parking lot. I blink, look back, and he's gone. No door opened, no sound. Just me. I work the night shift at a gas station. It's usually quiet, but this one night I noticed an old man standing by the entrance. Faded coat, like he hadn't been out in years. He wasn't coming in, but he wasn't leaving either. Just stood there staring. Didn't think much of it. Maybe he was waiting for someone. But he stayed there and stayed. I checked the security footage later and he was still standing there. But now his face was pressed up against the glass, grinning. I work the overnight shift at a gas station, and every hour the security cameras glitch and show a blurry figure standing in the corner of the store. It's always the same spot, but no one ever comes in. Didn't think much of it. Until one night, I checked the footage myself. There I was, same outfit, same tired face, just standing there. And then I saw it. I wasn't moving. The figure just stood there staring back at me. I've been working nights at this tiny gas station for months. Every night around 2, a guy would come in, buy a pack of cigarettes, say nothing, then leave. Tonight he just stood by the door staring out into the empty lot. I asked if he wanted anything else, and he slowly turned, smiled at me, and said, "I forgot my car," then steps out the door that's been locked since my shift started. So I was working the overnight shift at the gas station, just counting down the hours. Every hour or so I'd see the same black sedan pull up to the pumps, but no one ever got out. Just sit there, engine running. Didn't think much of it, thought maybe they were waiting or something. But then on my last round I noticed a small piece of paper taped to the pump. I unwrapped it slowly, and it said, "You're still here, aren't you?" I stared at it for a second, and that's when I saw the car start to roll backwards, just a little, like someone was trying to leave without making a sound. I worked the night shift, stocking shelves at a 24-hour grocery store. Every hour on the hour, I check the aisles, and every time I find one item out of place, always something I didn't touch. Last night, it was a box of cereal on the other side of the aisle from where I'd left it. Didn't think much of it, just straightened it and moved on. But then I heard my name whispered. Not from a customer, not even from a coworker. From behind the locked storage door. I froze, listening. Nothing. Went to check it, nothing there. Just empty storage. But when I turned back to the aisle, the misplaced cereal was gone. So I'm working the late shift at the gas station. Right. Usually not much happens. One night, I keep noticing this guy in a pickup across the lot just sitting there. Every time I glance up, he's looking at me. Doesn't move, doesn't do anything, just stare. After a while I get curious, so I go outside to check. I walk over, his truck's gone. I mean, no sign of anyone there. But here's the weird part. I open the door, and the driver's seat is warm, like someone was just sitting in it. I look around, no one, and I swear I never saw anyone leave. Still gives me chills thinking about it. I was the overnight gas station cashier, just doing my usual shift. Everything was normal at first, until I noticed something weird on the security cameras. There was a man standing right outside the door, not moving, just staring at the glass. It wasn't too cold or anything, so I figured maybe he was waiting for someone. But then hours passed and he didn't move. No one entered, no one left. I kept checking the cameras every few minutes, thinking maybe I was just seeing things. My shift ended and I stepped outside, ready to go home. And that's when I saw it. There was a handwritten note on my windshield with today's date on it, but the man, nowhere to be seen. So I was working the late shift at this quiet convenience store, just restocking the snack shelves. It's one of those nights where everything feels really still, I notice a little note tucked behind a box of candy, just a scrap of paper. I pull it out, and it says, "They're watching you." I thought maybe it was some prank. Then I turned back toward the register, and for a second I swear I see a shadow move outside the glass door. I froze, looked again, nothing. The lot's empty, no cars, no figures. But I swear I felt like I wasn't alone anymore. I'm the night shift cashier at a gas station, and I always lock up tight before I settle in. Tonight, though, I hear footsteps inside the station, even after I double-checked everything. I grab a flashlight, thinking maybe someone's hiding, but when I walk around the corner, I see a stack of lottery tickets on the counter. Each one has my name written on it, and there's a note that says, "You should have left when I told you." Sure, here's a short, realistic horror story in casual, simple English fitting your guidelines. I was working the night shift at the gas station, just me and the quiet hum of the pumps. Around 3 a.m., I noticed a guy standing outside staring at the store. Didn't think much of it. Then he started walking closer slowly. I kept my eye on him, pretending to check the register. Suddenly, he stopped right outside the door, just standing there. I thought about calling the cops, but before I could, I saw him turn and walk away, but I looked outside again, and he was gone. No car, no footsteps. Just disappeared. Used to clean this office building overnight. One floor had glass walls overlooking the satirically pretty, but made me feel watched one night. I mop my way down the hall and glance at the reflection. There's a man standing behind me. I spin around, no one, just me. Figured I imagined it until I looked at the wet footprints leading away from where I was standing. Every night after the last customer leaves, I wipe down the counter at the fast food place. Nothing weird, just routine. But tonight, I noticed something strange. The law book showed orders taken and completed every 30 minutes between 2 and 4 a.m., even though we're closed then and no one else has keys. I thought maybe it was a glitch, so I checked the security footage. And there I was at 2:17 a.m. No one else was there. It's like I was serving someone who wasn't even there. I work the graveyard shift, stocking shelves, at a grocery store. Most nights are pretty quiet. But there's this guy. He shows up every night, always lurking in the aisles just out of sight. I first noticed him a week ago when I caught him on the security monitors. Every time I'd walk past an aisle, he'd be there just far enough down so I couldn't see his face. I thought maybe he was just another night shopper, but it kept happening. Every night he'd be somewhere else in the store, like he was following me. Tonight I'm behind the register, checking the monitor, and it cycles through all the empty aisles. It's pressed up against the lens. His eyes are wide, just staring straight at me. I didn't even hear him come up. So I work the night shift as a janitor in this empty office building. Nothing weird at first, just cleaning floors and emptying trash. But then I start noticing these single shoes left in different rooms. They're always slightly damp and warm, like someone just took them off. I checked the security footage, thinking maybe I missed someone sneaking in. But it's always just me walking through the halls, carrying a pair of shoes I don't own. One night, I swear I saw a shadow move behind me in the footage, but when I looked, there was nothing there. It's like someone's been leaving those shoes, and I don't know why.
I started working the night shift at this old motel where every guest acts like I'm invisible when they check in. Last night, while staring at the lobby mirror, I caught a glimpse of something behind me, a faceless figure barely stepping out of the shadows. I froze, heart pounding, but when I turned around, no one was there. The strange part? None of the guests ever react to that spot either, like they're all pretending it's not real. Now I'm wondering if I'm not the one who's invisible here, or if that faceless thing isn't trying to scare me but waiting for me to disappear too.
The first night in this remote town, I heard quiet whispers from the woods outside my window. I told myself it was the wind, but last night I couldn't ignore it. So I followed the sound, creeping through the trees until I found an old rusted mirror half buried in the dirt. I looked down, expecting to see my reflection, but staring back was a face I didn't recognize, someone smiling like they'd been waiting. I stepped back, heart pounding, and the reflection didn't change. Then I looked behind me. No one there. But when I glanced back at the mirror, the smile was gone, replaced by my own terrified face.